Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern, and I've got a brew challenge here from Patreon subscriber Red Mage, and they wanted me to build around Confusion in the Ranks. This is a crazy card, 3 red enchantment. Whenever an enchantment, artifact, or creature enters the battlefield, its controller chooses target permanent another player controls that shares a card type with it, exchange control of those permanents. What is this card asking us to do? It's asking us to A, have worse permanents than our opponents, or B, break the exchange parity and get our permanents back somehow. And the deck I've built hopefully does both. One of the most fun cards with Confusion of the Ranks, and I've played enough casual Magic to appreciate this, is Norin the Wary. 1 mana 2/1. When a player casts a spell or a creature attacks, exile Norin, return it to battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. That means, if you have Norin and Confusion, every time anyone attacks or plays a spell, you get to steal a creature from your opponent, and then every time someone attacks or plays a spell, you get Norin back, and then that steals another creature from your opponent. Norin's obviously a very silly card, because it's whenever any creature attacks, including himself, so you don't get a Savannah Lions if nothing's going on. He still just attacks and puts himself into exile, which is why he has historically been paired with Soul Sisters. Soul Warden and Soul's Attendant, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you gain a life. Norin means whenever anyone does anything, you end up gaining a life from Soul Warden. If you have 2 of them or 3 of them, it stacks up pretty quick. While we're gaining life, Ajani's Pridemate gets bigger, and that's the Soul Sisters part of the deck. The Confusion part of the deck, explained Norin already. If you dash Ragavan, you get to exchange a creature with it, and then the dash puts it back in your hand at the end of the turn. Scrapwork Mutt. This one is in the deck because it's an artifact creature, and there are artifacts worth stealing in the Modern format. And the Boros deck could use a little card selection. All of the above work. And if you unearth this thing, it comes into play, steals an artifact or creature, and then gets exiled in the end step. Solitude is a pitch elemental. If you evoke this, as long as you stack your triggers right, you can exile 1 creature, trade with another creature, then Solitude dies, and your opponent gets nothing. Resolute Reinforcements is a 1-of in the deck, just another flash creature to supplement Solitude, because sometimes you gotta steal stuff at instant speed, and this steals 2 things at instant speed. And Charming Prince, since we're already gaining life, already flickering, and Charming Prince has a very specific line of text on it that says exile target creature you own, not you control, which means I could flip my flipped creatures back under my control, and then steal another creature, or do something different. There's 4 suppression fields in the main deck, because just kind of fair Boros needs to do something to disrupt opponents, and most modern decks have activated abilities that they care about. Whether it's a fetch land or a land cycle, for example, those are activated abilities. Tapping Urza Saga, activating Yawgmoth, taxing that for an additional 2 mana each is pretty serious. And a cool thing about Suppression Field is there are enchantments worth stealing in Modern as well, like Fable the Mirror Breaker or Urza Saga. And it doesn't matter who controls Suppression Field. It's a universal effect on both players. Same with the Blood Moon in the sideboard, same with Damping Sphere, same with Curse Totem, same with Rest in Peace. Doesn't matter who controls these cards. They still affect the game. And obviously, I'm talking about all this stuff like my 5-mana enchantment's going to be in play in time for Suppression Field to trade with an Urza Saga. And that just is what it is. It's a 5-mana enchantment. We're going to play some number of games where we just do the Soul Sisters thing, or we just do the Boros Prison thing, and Confusion, we either just don't draw it or the game is over before we cast it. But I'm hoping to get at least a few games where we drag into a mid-game situation where Confusion gets to start doing crazy stuff. And that's the deck. That's the idea. Let's see if it works. This is Red Mage's Confused Sisters. Come meet me at MagicCon Chicago. In addition to my official creator booth with Raymond Yu on Friday morning, I'll have a second meet and greet opportunity Saturday morning at the 3-for-1 trading booth from 10 to 11 a.m., right before the Legacy for Original Art tournament starts. Big thanks to 3for1 for continuing to provide opportunities like this. Do some shopping at their booth in Chicago or check out shop.3for1trading.com. I'm on the draw versus Aspiring Spike, exciting, who has revealed Kahira to start the game. This is a powerful wizard to queue into with our Goofball Brew. But I do have Ragavan into Suppression Field, and hope that's good. Sacred Foundry, Ragavan. Ragavan's ousted. Flooded Strand, that's affected by Suppression Field. Let's get this in. I mean, he's got a fetch and response. I'm sure he's seen this card before. But let's hope this is annoying versus Planeswalkers, future fetch lands, Norin revealed, etc. There's a fetch land that's going to cost 2 mana to activate, which he does have. Yeah, I'm going to dash Ragavan and see what happens here. Might just get counterspelled. Might connect. In we go. Okay, fetching in response, paying the 2. Fetching a basic island, which is also going to opt. Bottom the card, doesn't like it. And now there's a pause. Are we getting solituded? Yes, we are. Pitching to Fairy Time Reveler. Okay. Count that as a little Hymn to Turok. And here's Soul Warden. This could have been +2 life, but I wanted to give myself the chance to cast a 2-drop if I connected with Ragavan. Counterbalance versus my 1-drop deck. This is going to be fun. Okay. I'm going to start with Norin. See if you flip a 1-drop. Omen of the Sea. Glad I started with Norin. I was going to start with Mutt, but that would have been a lot worse. And Norin gets exiled, which gains me life. It's unlikely life is going to matter a lot in this matchup, but still. Okay, if I play this Soul Warden, he can scry 2 and draw a card. All right, I'm going to start with the Soul Warden, which exiles Norin, of course. Revealed a Solitude on top of the deck. I'm also going to send it on Scrapwork Mutt while I know the getting's good. Omen of the Sea in response, going to try to do something about this. Bottom, so this is random, and the Solitude's gone. I gain some life, loot away the Sacred Foundry, card selection's busted. And for 1, let's go. Norin comes back, and I gain some life. There's the Plains. Just past here. Ragavan. Well, I will dash Ragavan. Another Omen of the Sea. Let's see if Counterbalance gets a card ever. I hope not, but I'm rooting for it. Topped. That means Ragavan's countered. Yeah, with revealing Oust. Attack with my creatures. Another Omen of the Sea in the end step. Bottom. May or may not have kept the Oust. It was Oust and 1 other card. Terminus. That's pretty effective. And that was at random too. Bummer. Well, Norin the Wary goes away, but is not useful. Looks like we're just going to get miracled out here. Teferi can't activate this turn, but he can in the future. Guess I'll play this Inspiring Vantage. Attack. Get my triggers. Haha. A Teferi can bounce Norin, which is really funny. This is one of the few ways to actually remove a Norin. Went after Suppression Field instead. Okay. Moment of truth. Revealed a land. Are you holding a counterspell? Do you care about this? Norin triggered twice in a turn. Got him. Okay, now I'm holding a Solitude. I guess I just pass here. And now with the Suppression Field gone, you can start scrying 2 with Omens of the Sea. This deck is sweet. I'm a big fan of it. Multiple Solitudes in my hand now. And Teferi in play. Tough crowd. Scrying 2 again. Brainstone. I committed to the bit here. And this Ragavan is like 0% to resolve. I'm just going to cast a Solitude. That one's a lot harder to hit with Counterbalance. And if he taps out to interact with this, maybe I could get a Ragavan through. Opt on top. All right, well, I won't be getting Ragavan through. If I draw Confusions in the ranks, I could steal Counterbalance, which is really funny. So I do have a huge out still in the deck. Teferi bounced. Omen of the Sea. Handful of gas over there. Okay, you've got a Solitude. Exiles my Solitude. Then I Solitude your Solitude second main. Counterbalance fetching. Looks like just a regular old counterspell. Or Brainstone. Are you holding a 5? That would be a bummer. Ouch. Oh, I can at least get Ragavan in here. I don't know what he's going to do, but he's in. If I wasn't playing Confusion in the ranks, I'd be playing Perforos, God of the Forge, at the top of my curve. And this is exactly the matchup that card is for. Charming Prince. Interesting. This can scry 2. So I guess what I have to do with this? 2 on top. All right. I'm good. My next draw is Ragavan, and I'm too far behind. Okay, what do I do here? I did not include Wismare in my sideboard, unfortunately. I have Dawn Fluke instead. I was looking for another flash creature. Didn't really use the graveyard. I could see Blood Moon being annoying, just another thing to mess him up. Suppression Field was fine for a while. Skyclave Apparition removes the counterbalance if I need to. I think I'm actually going to shave some Norins. They're just really bad draws if my engine isn't running, and knowing that there's Terminus in this deck means that my engine isn't necessarily safe to run. I think I'm going to bring in 2 Blood Moons, just because it's not that good, but it's probably better than 2 Norins. Okay, no 1-drops here, but I do have some selection in the form of Scrapwork Mutt. Wish this was Ragavan, go. And I have the Confusion, so things could happen this game. Inspiring Vantage, Scrapwork Mutt, Basic Island. Are we getting sternly dismissed? Or scolded? Stern scolded? Yes, we are. Cool. Okay, Soul Warden. I'm going to play Soul Warden, and then I'm going to play a Johnny's Pridemate. This is a big enough beefcake that is actually going to have to respect it eventually. I mean, Teferi might just come in and bounce it, but then Teferi dies to Soul Warden, so hoping that this holds. Surveil in the end step. Dumped a counterbalance, didn't want it. Ousted my Teferi, or the Johnny's Pridemate. Teferi's Pridemate, not a card, unfortunately. Shocking Sacred Foundry, and I'm going to play Suppression Field first. This might be worth a counter. Yeah, all right. And then I guess I'll attack. And do I want to loot away Confusion or play towards it? I think I want to play towards it. And I'm going to play around Terminus by not casting my Resolute Reinforcements right now. Counterbalance, I'll respond to that. Just try to get on the board. He knows my top card is a 2-drop, but has not actually had the ability to set that up. Just hope this works. Did not reveal. Okay, have I rammed into Terminus? Let's find out. And this is a random draw, right? While there's a pause in the draw step, certainly looks like Terminus. How did that get there? Did I miss something, or is that just tough beats? Okay, here we go. Can I have that counterbalance, maybe? Don't reveal a 5. Don't reveal a 5. Don't reveal a 5. Conceding. Fuck it, A. Just revealed Solitude randomly when I was about to steal the counterbalance. Alright, on to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw in round 2. I'm going to keep my hand. My opponent's name is Confusion is Bliss. Boy, I hope they still think so at the end of this match. Thundering Falls. My initial thought is Rhinos, but this could be in most decks at this point. These Surveil lands are just showing up everywhere. Sacred Foundry was my draw. I'm going to shove Soul Warden and hopefully suppress some mana development next turn. Shocked in a Breeding Pool. Still looks like Rhinos. Fired. Okay. Tapping out for fire here does BTFO fetch lands. Okay. Gonna try to send my Prison Piece. They could have Force Negation. They might just have a 3rd land that's not a fetch land. There's plenty of ways that this doesn't work. Stomping Ground just zapped it right in. Charming Prince. Okay. Sacred Foundry. Shock it in. I'm going to go Soul's Attendant to Johnny's Pridemate. They're going to make their Rhinos. They should do it now. Okay. They didn't. And now if they make Rhinos, I have a 5/5. End step gone. Okay. Yeah. Why didn't you dead it when it was a 2/2? But okay. That's legal. Are you going to send the Rhinos now? No. All right. Johnny's Pridemate on the stack again. And is a 3/3 again. Norin the Wary. Get in there. Start causing havoc. Violent Outburst. Okay. Yep. I'm going to end up with a 5/5 here. Didn't have to be that way. Elegant Parlor. Get a little card selection. Don't need Inspiring Vantage. And I will pass the turn. Enjoying my fresh new 6/6. Okay, so opponent, not to rag on them, just to educate my viewers, Dead could have killed this when it was a 2-2, and they could have made their rhinos in response to this on the stack the second time around, and then I wouldn't have a 6-6. Just multiple opportunities to play differently here that they didn't take. I'm actually not going to block. I think I will have a bigger squad next turn, and I don't want to lose Pridemate to Fire Ice or Dead. If you want to bounce it, I'll just play 2 more of them. But it's going to be huge, and it's going to have a friend starting next turn. And I've gained so much life that I could take a hit for 8, even more than I normally would be able to. Okay, looks like it's gone again. Oh, Tidebinder, sure. Okay, it's just a 6-6 and doesn't have all these other words anymore. Or it's going to be a 7-7 because of how the stack works. Okay, just a 7-7 for a minute. Doesn't have any other abilities for now. Doesn't need them. Another Pridemate. Get in there. This one's immediately 3-3. Charming Prince will make it 4-4. Could be 5-5. And then Norin returning will make it 5-5 or 6-6. I think Prince has to scry 2. Or scry. Yeah, scry 2. Those are the words on that one. I could flicker this Pridemate and reset it, but I'd rather just have a 7-7. Scry 2. Ragavan, Soul Warden. Those are both pretty good, actually. I can't have them both, though. I'm a Boros deck without a lot of card selection. I could Soul Warden next turn and then Ragavan the turn after. I'm going to bash for 7, though. That's happening. Okay, they go to 9. I'll play my land. Norin comes back. I gain a life, have a 5-5. Okay, here we are. 19 life. If they attack, I think I'm just going to take it again. Blue, red, red in the pool. What's this do? Flame of Anor, targeting, yep, exactly 5 damage. Good enough. Either leaving back a Rhino to block with. If I could trade off their squad with a double block, that's not even that bad for me. I'm going to attack with Pridemate and Charming Prince. The hero attack is also attacking with Soul Attendant. I'm not a hero, though. I'm a coward. They are taking the double block as expected. We just trade off with these things. They go to 7. I play Soul Warden, go to 17. And then Norin comes back and I'm at 19. And I'm drawing Ragavan next turn. A Soul's Attendant, Soul Warden's in. Norin comes back and I'm at 19. Yeah, this is the backside of playing Soul Sisters. It's just super annoying, just the passive life gain against decks that are trying to deal 20 damage to you. Suspended a Footfalls. Oh, do they have a Murktide? That's a big one. They do have a Murktide. It is the full 8-8. Rhino is attacking, as it should. Now I have to decide if I want to dash this Ragavan and hide it from Fire Ice. Just put it back in my hand, or sit it in play. By dashing it, I gain 4 life. By casting it in any fashion, I gain 4 life. I think my life is better with this card in play. They gain some life, pass. We are starting to fall behind. I actually need a Confusion in the ranks. That would be a great draw here. Murktide's getting in for 8. I'll gain back 2 of it, which isn't that much. Whoa, more Rhinos. Okay, we're falling behind. I desperately need a Confusion. If I draw and resolve Confusion, though, I can steal their Murktide, like, immediately. And then I'm ahead. I wonder why the Rhino didn't attack if they were making another bunch of Rhinos. This 4 damage seems pretty free. Confusion. Shit. I'm going to attack with Norin the Wary to gain my 2 life. I'm going to keep this in my hand because I have Mutts in my deck that could loot it away. This is 22 damage coming my way if they attack with everything. Alright, they're just letting Murktide do the work. At this point, I have to imagine they have a Force of Negation in their hand. Oh, they're going to stifle Norin. That's the respect it deserves. Cool. That is a way to keep Norin out of play. Planes. Alright. Flooding out a little too much here. And now Confusion doesn't even steal Murktide because Norin's gone. I'll take one more draw, and then I'll scoop. Or if they just figure out they can attack with everything, I'll scoop to that too. Violent Outburst. Okay. This is worth a ton of extra damage. This is all 4 Rhinos in their deck are now accounted for. Big blockers back. Really no risk in attacking here. Okay, 15, 24. Even if I block, I'd have to double chump a Rhino. Yeah, we're not winning this one. Okay. Disappointing. We had a good run with the start, and then it just fell apart. Path to Exile, Draneth Magistrate, Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere just makes it harder to cascade or double spell. Skyclave Apparition does very little in this matchup because it exiles non-tokens, and tokens are like their deck. Do I actually want Damping Sphere? I'm not convinced that I do. They can just slow down and beat it later. And we saw Flame of Anor. I'm not going to bring in Rest in Peace just for Murktide Regent. I think Paths and Dranniths are where I want to be here. Okay, I'm going to keep this turn 1 Ragavan and hope that I draw a land or they don't kill Ragavan. A Rag on the play with a potent sideboard card in my hand. This is worth the risk to me. It resolved. Tap, 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 tapped. Uh-oh. Well, they have the Dead. That was the only card they could have. Can I draw a land, please? Nope, no chance. All right, second Ragavan. Now Fire Ice is unlocked and Brazen Borrower, and it's a lot worse now. And they're just cracking off a fetch right now. Oh, suspending Rhinos. Do you have 2 Deads in your opening hand? Come on, stop it. Stop it! You only play 4 of those. This is an outrage. Okay, can I draw a land? Peace. I'll even take that land. I'm not picky. Soul's Attendant into the graveyard. Cast Soul Warden. Unfortunately, this is the turn they could send Rhinos if they have them, and I missed the critical turn to play Drannith Magistrate. Battlefield Forge. Soul's Attendant. Gain a life. Drannith Magistrate. Hope for the best. Yep, here's this. I am personally ready for Violent Outburst to leave Modern. I'm not going to lie. I am pretty tired of this play pattern, and I think that the deck is still powerful if they just have to play on their own turn. But getting to do this as an instant just whenever you want is so fucked. Okay, I think I just Solitude one of these things. Just gains a bunch of life as well for both of us. But at least we're chilling for now. Oh, Murktide Regent, sure. Yep, good pivot. Okay, I mean, their opening hand had 2 Deads in it versus my 2 Ragavans. That was the ball game. We knew the risk we were taking at the time. I still have Path to Exile in my deck. I could try to draw. All right, I mean, this gives me a turn to find a white card to pitch. They're in for 12. Cracking a fetch. Thundering Falls. Okay, I drew that white card. That's even better. I'm going to attack with all my creatures. And I'm going to Path Murktide in their upkeep. Hope this works. They milled away 1 Force of Negation. Okay, Murktide's gone. They do have a 3rd basic in their deck. I'm a little surprised, but okay. I guess they do board in Blood Moon, so they need some number. This Footfalls can't be cast. The Drannith did do something. Count it. And now actually we are close to stability. Like a Norin actually counteracts this Rhino every turn cycle. If I can keep putting creatures into play, we can tempo this out. Soul Warden. Okay. I could play Soul Warden, or I could pitch it to Solitude and take the pressure off completely. I think I'd rather play Soul Warden. Hope they don't have Subtlety. Oh, they're fetching so fast. For a tap Stomping Ground. Okay. I'll just gain some life. Back up to a 3-turn clock. And now Norin's extra busted because I'm gaining more life than Rhino attacks for. It's not even neutral anymore. Oh, they're holding back. We stopped the charge. I'm actually going to dash Ragavan because I want to be able to cast a creature every turn and gain a bunch of life. I'm just going to pick it up in the end step and no attacks here. We're getting out of range. I was not expecting to win that. All right, we saw a bunch of basics. I'm not going to bring in Blood Moon. Murktide was the best card in both games, but that doesn't mean Rest in Peace is worth a slot necessarily. Yeah, I do play Scrapwork Mutt, which cares about the graveyard. And I have 4 Solitudes, 2 Path to Exiles. All right, yeah, I just have to be careful with my removal. 2 Soul Wardens and Suppression Field. Probably too slow. I am going to rock it, though. I also made the mistake of checking Twitter while my opponent was sideboarding, and Aspiring Spike has already posted the screenshot of him BTFOing me with the Flip Solitude. Stomping Grounds. Okay. I think I should... Ooh. I was going to say I should lead on Elegant Parlor, but I don't think that's true anymore. Soul Warden, get in. Maybe I should lead on Soul's Attendant. They're mostly the same card. Soul Warden is not optional, and Soul's Attendant is. And they are functionally the same, except thinking about how many clicks it takes me to get through it on MTGO. once I set my auto yields, it's the same. That it just happens, but these are the things I'm thinking about. Okay, suppression field and hope for the best. Hope your third land is a fetch land. Passing the turn. Slam a fetch. Slam a fetch. Can't catch a break. And me without a Soul Warden to gain 3 life right now. Okay, we're probably behind and never winning this one. I needed suppression field to do anything, and it didn't. And we double draw on Norin's. Hell yeah. That's exactly the card you want multiple copies of. But I can mutt one away. Just good deck building. I go to 21. Dump a Norin. Draw a Battlefield Forge. Not helpful. This is why this is the best deck in Modern. You could just mull to 5, put 10 power into play, and most decks can't beat it. I'll trade with Shardless Agent. Happy to get that off the board. Happy to have Mutt in my graveyard. Ooh, Pridemate. Okay. I'll start with Pridemate. Trigger, question mark. Oh no. Have they learned how the stack works? Tidebinder. Okay. That one, they did know that one the whole time. Are they gonna... Okay, they're going after Soul's Attendant, not Pridemate. Okay, that's fair. If that's the case, then Norin sucks. I should Scrapwork Mutt here. Oh, that's an activated ability. Good deck building. Yeah, I guess it is. It's in the reminder text, but 1 red colon. Whoops. Like I said, just good deck building. Definitely should have played the Elegant Parlor here, but didn't know that was an interaction. Hey, I take 8 here. I'm not going to block. I need to draw a Lightning Bolt, just something that removes Tidebinder, and I'm actually close to stable. Oh, not if they send another set of Rhinos. Youth. Okay, now I'm not close to stable. Still need a Lightning Bolt. Okay. GG, opponent. We learned something about our deck. A little bit of a non-bo here. I thought I built a deck with no activated abilities, but I guess, yep, Unearth would qualify as an activated ability. I guess it would have to be. In my head, it was like Flashback or something, but it's not a spell. You can't counter it through traditional means, so I guess it would have to be an activated ability. Process of elimination. Okay. Lesson learned. On to the next round. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. Second through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bizarre Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. On the play for round 3, this hand looks distressingly normal, but I'm going to rock with it. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm going to put a Sacred Foundry into play tapped and see what my opponent's doing. A Plains, it's the mirror match. Okay, I'm going to Plains, and I'm going to mutt away basic Plains. I suspect this is actually Hammer. Suppression Field, cool. Urza Saga. Okay, Shock and Sacred Foundry, and I'm going to suppress and pay the Troll Toll. I don't think I can afford to attack with Mutt. Getting 2 damage through versus dying to Sigardizade Hammer. No thanks. Inkmoth Nexus, full of activated abilities. This is a great match for Suppression Field. Ornithopter's in play now. Another Pridemate. I guess I'll play one of these. Or I could Charming Prince to scry. I could also Apparition the Ornithopter. And then Flicker the Apparition if I need to deal with Esper Sentinel next turn. Yeah, I think that checks out. I'm going to remove the flyer because I could block the other one. Wow, Search of Salvation. They're like, no, I need that Ornithopter. Sure. You can have an Ornithopter. Still leaving back my blockers because they could Tutor Hammer this turn. I can Flicker Skyclave Apparition next turn and exile something that's holding a hammer. Arid Mesa, also activated ability. Springleaf Drum doesn't count because it's a mana ability. Cryptic Coat, look at you, innovating. Go to my turn. Norin the Wary, what's up? Charming Prince is going to Flicker my Skyclave Apparition. They get no token here, and might as well put Norin into play. Let my opponent know that I'm serious. I think I'm going to try to exile the coat here. That's the thing that creates the biggest problems for me going long. They have another surge. Okay. Norin's out of here. Can't surge him. Okay, so they have this unblockable 3-2 that is very difficult to pick up and make another one. If I draw a Soul Sister, I'm actually in business. The double Pridemate here is pretty sick. They're in for 3, can't be blocked. Another Apparition. Okay, let's keep sending those. They have, let's count mana first. 1, 2, 3. They have 3 mana to pick up Cryptic Coat, and it costs 4. So if I can clear this now, we're actually out of the woods. Exile Cryptic Coat. You have another Surge. Last card in hand. It is another Surge. Or no, they're just confused about how Suppression Field works. Nope. All right, cool. Got him. You know, after doing Stone Nothing for 2 rounds, this is a great showcase of Suppression Field. However, they have plenty of mana to start using this Urza Saga, which I'm not excited about. I think it's a good opportunity to attack with some of these 2/2s. Find some damage somewhere. Still leaving back a blocker in case a hammer gets attached to something. But I guess they'd put it on the flyer, huh? Seachrome Coast, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. They actually can activate Urza Saga. That's a beating. Scrapwork Mutt. Are you helpful? Yeah, I'm going to cast a Mutt. Discard one of these Pridemates. I still have hope for Lightning Bolt. Through Inspiring Vantage. I'm not inspired by that. Yeah, this deck really doesn't function without a Soul Sister in play, and I'm only playing 6 instead of the traditional 8 because I made room for stuff like Scrapwork Mutt, and because I wanted to diversify my card types for confusion in the ranks. Like, basically, what's happening is the thing that, you know, we all knew would happen, including Red Mage who sent me the deck, which is trying to build around a 5-mana enchantment in Modern, creates weird deck building incentives, and then doesn't result in being super good on the backside either. Both of these mutts would be the 2 Souls Attendants if I was just doing something different. In with a 2/2 and a 7/7. I think I have to block the 2/2. And I'll block the 7 while I could still block 2. Now my suppression field is hurting me. I'd still take a Soul Sister here, though. Ragavan. Disappointing. Pridemate. Ragavan. All I can do is pass and wait to die at this point. Equipping that Shadow Spear. It costs 4, but they can do it. Okay, I had my lock, and it was actually really good. Or my disruption piece. Not a lock piece, my disruption piece, and I was actually really, really good this match. However, my opponent got out of it because I was not able to convert my Pridemates. Like, if these Pridemates, they would be like 15-15s by now. I win this game, but no Soul Sister to be found. And now they're at 21. Not going to be able to cheese through this. Okay, next game. Ingot Chewer comes in. This is a sweet one. Evoke red, destroy target artifact. Hopefully we can get some cool trades on that. Blood Moon I do like. They're 2 color, and they're a Urza Saga deck. Path to Exile is obviously necessary. Suppression Field was good. And Norin, you're going to get sideboarded out every time, buddy. Charming Prince, I think Resolute Reinforcements is probably mediocre. It is 2 blockers. Lightning Bolt is good until it's not. Like, it keeps you alive, but then suddenly your opponent has 8/8s in play and it doesn't matter anymore. Apparition's one of my better cards. Scrapwork Mud actually kept me going in that game. It's also the artifact I have I could play and trade for stuff. I think I'm going to go down to Ragavan too. They just have a lot of X1s to trade with that, but I still want some number. And sorry, Confusion's in the ranks. You're a 5-drop against the deck that could kill me on turn 3. Okay, here we go. Keep. I have the engine. Now I need to pay it off. And I think I should actually lead on Elegant Parlor. Get some selection here. Battlefield Forge. I'm going to graveyard that. I'm good on lands for now. Seachrome Coast. Springleaf Drum. All right. Slow and steady over there from the opponent. Soul's Attendant. Soul Warden. Always yield. Always yes. Here's the half the deck you didn't see last time. Urza Saga. There should definitely be at least one Wismare in my sideboard. I feel such a fool that I'm playing without it. Do I need a 3rd Soul Warden here? I probably want a Mutt to try to keep things moving forward. Mutt. Discard Soul Warden number 3. Suppression Field. A turn late. Hopefully it's still good next turn, but it is late. Inkmoth Nexus, okay. And they're just activating right now. Fair enough. That does give them a mana right now. Makes sense. Sigarda's Aid. All right. Can't stop that. Ooh, Ragavan. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to play Suppression Field. And I guess I just Solitude here when they can't mess with it. They can't Surge of Salvation right now. And only gaining 3 life, I'll take that as a dub. Okay, they can't activate the Saga and activate the Inkmoth. They can't activate the Inkmoth at all. They got Ginger Brute, okay. That'll die to Ingot Chewer. Unless they hammer twice, but I'm at 27, so even that's not lethal. I hope they do hammer twice. Pure Steel Paladin, that one's dangerous. Now I hope they don't hammer twice. Just once. Wait, shouldn't this still cost 2? Equipment have a equip cost 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts? I think that's wrong. Or I think that was done wrong. And I'm going to dash Ragavan. See if they want to trade Pure Steel Pally for it. Attack. Nice. Trade them off, trade them off. Ingot Chewer. Destroy Ginger Brute. Okay. Something resembling stability has been achieved. But I have no cards in my hand, and they have Urza Saga. That even if it can't activate, can tutor. If they have any creature, they could put Colossus Hammer on it next turn. If they don't have a creature, I'm in good shape. Oh, they passed. When the moon hits your eye. Okay, we might have just found a way to win the game. Unless they play counterspells off this blue mana. Because if this resolves, it kills the Urza Saga outright, turns all this other stuff into mountains. Something's happening. Or they're trying to do something. Oh, they're just animating Inkmoth? Okay. I am not going to attack into this, actually. I don't want to give them a chance to stabilize any part of my board. And now we're cooking. Let's go. Now I can play Mutt just to add to the clock. That actually does cut a turn off the clock. I'm going to send it in even if I don't get the selection. My opponent's best draw is probably Ornithopter, because that turns on their colored mana. Lightning Bolt. Okay, sick. I like that card. Okay, the Boros Prison half of the deck finally kicking in. We still haven't resolved a confusion in the ranks, which I'm bummed about. But I hope it comes up eventually. Oh, they found a Plains. Dangerous. Luckily, Lightning Bolt can solve a lot of my problems. If they just play Pure Steel Paladin and go to equip, I can bolt it. Even if they get a creature into play, I can tech and put them sub 3 life and Bolt can finish them off. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm on the draw where Ragavan's even worse. Ragavan did bait the trade on the Pure Steel Paladin, though, which was pretty exciting. Resolute Reinforcements is 2 blockers and steals 2 things if I have Confusion in play. I think Ragavan is necessary in some amount here. Yeah, go ahead. Right back in. Same stuff. Same plan. Okay. Okay. This is actually kind of an exciting looking start. I wish there was a removal spell in it, but I'm out here. Well, they got a pretty fast start. And Ragavan's already bricked. That's why I'm suspicious of that card. I'm going to lean on Soul Warden, try to absorb some life total beats, try to get my Pride Mate up, and maybe I can dash Rag effectively later. If they just have the Hammer Nuts here. Oh, they have the Hammer Nuts. Oh, okay. Well, do I block? No. If they have Hammer, it's not going to matter. Inspiring Vantage, Johnny's Pride Mate. Gain me a life, make me a monster. Okay. I mean, they're coming out fast. This Urza Saga could tutor Hammer. If I draw a Moon or removal spell this turn, we have a chance of getting into a confusion game. Ginger Brute's still attacking. I'll block this time. Yeah, okay. We just had it. Whatever. That was gonna get me at some point eventually. Come on, Path to Exile. Clifftop Retreat. Dang. Okay, Sacred Foundry tapped and Ragavan as a blocker. I guess I could have dashed Rag there. No, they have Saga activation up with the Springleaf Drum. Oh, what a pain this is. If we found one disruptive element, one removal spell, or their draw was just slightly slower, any one of those things happens, and this might be actually a confusion in the ranks game. I have the 5 mana. They have good creatures I want to steal, but we're going to be dead before it matters. Hammer probably goes on Ornithopter here, and they have a mana to make Gingerbread unblockable. I'm at 1. Oh, this doesn't fly anymore. That's how Hammer works. Right. I forget that 100% of the time. I'll block the biggest creature. And I didn't board in Wrath of God. Okay. Well, I mean, again, we're playing against a real Modern deck, and we have Confusion of the Ranks in our hand. On to the next round. We're trying here.
If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event.
I'm on the draw for round 4. I can't keep this hand. 2 Lightning Bolts, 1 Soul Warden. It just doesn't do anything. If I knew I was against Hammer again, maybe I'd consider it, but send it. This one's much better. I'm going to keep and bottom Solitude. Lightning Bolt's a removal spell if I need one. Hopefully Suppression Field's relevant in the matchup. A Stomping Ground and a Delighted Halfling. Well, I found a target for my Lightning Bolt. Get rid of that. From here, my plan is turn 2 field, turn 3 Soul Warden plus Pridemate. A fetch land. Okay. I kind of hope they play Wrenn and 6 and pick up the fetch land because Suppression Field stuffs both of those things. Ooh, Inti. You can discard a card and do stuff. Sure. Alright, maybe I'll just Lightning Bolt. Put a +1 counter on it. When you discard one more cards, like it's a top card, you can cast it. Though this does mess up my card forever. If I don't Suppression Field now, it's never coming into play. And I could still bolt Inti next turn. They're attacking with Inti, they get a discard, which flips a card from their top of the deck if they want to do all that. Discarded Life from the Loam. Look at this gamer. Flipped a 1 ring. Okay, luckily that can't be cast this turn and also is much worse with Suppression Field in play. Gemstone Caverns, yikes. Tarmogoyf. Who plays that? That's illegal. Okay, I'm going to go Lightning Bolt on Inti, then play Soul Warden plus Ragavan. Going to need this Soul Warden to hold the fort against Tarmogoyf. Playing against Jund magic cards over there. Or maybe even Gruul. Gruul magic cards. They dredged Loam. Interesting. That can pick up 3 fetch lands that they can't use any of this turn. It also makes Tarmogoyf smaller. Untap that. Yeah. Got him. No way this Goyf attacks. I'd love to draw a 1-drop. Oh, the nuts! Okay. Cast a Johnny Pridemate. I'm going to sequence this in a way to make Pridemate the biggest rather than gain the most life. Because if I had played Norin first, Pridemate would have exiled it. I'm not going to attack with Ragavan just to get a Norin trigger. The engine's online for the first time in history. Shocked and Stomping Ground. Cast the 1 ring, which they cannot tap and activate because that costs 2 mana. My Pridemate is bigger than Tarmogoyf at this point. Charming Prince. Okay. I can scry 2 and do a bunch of cool stuff. Exile Norin. Gain a life. Scry 2. Bottom the Foundry. Do I want a Soul's Attendant? Is that where I think this game's going? Sure. All in on a Johnny Pridemate. Not going to attack because they have protection from everything. 22 life. Giant heckin' cat in play. Dredged Loam again. Hit a commercial district. Yeah, they must have Seismic Assault. That's the only thing that really makes sense here. If they're dredging Loam and trying to make something happen. Yeah, Seismic Assault is not enough to kill the Johnny's Pridemate this turn. And that costs 2 to activate. Got him! Suppression Field unbeatable. Okay, draw for turn. Play Soul's Attendant pre-combat to make my Pridemate as big as possible. And I'm actually going to attack with everything because if they try to block Ragavan, they die. It's a forced block. Oh, I get a Seismic Assault. Do I want this? No. Not with Suppression Field in play. I'll just ignore it. Okay, we got at least one game this league that played out just how we drew it up. This is exactly the game I was trying to play. Now I need access to a Confusion in the Ranks win. We did it. Exactly how that's supposed to go. Okay, they are a Gruul Seismic Assault Loam deck. Rest in Peace seems important versus both Tarmogoyf, Light from the Loam, Wrenn and 6, all the things that we saw. Path to Exile seems good. Lightning Bolt's fine. Ragavan's fine. Suppression Field was that whole game. Apparition I like. Mutt is worse when Rest in Peace is involved because it doesn't have Unearth, but because of Suppression Field, it barely has Unearth anyway. Maybe against the big Tarmogoyf deck, I shave a Ragavan. I'll shave a Mutt because I'm bringing in Graveyard Hate to step on my own Mutt. And as usual, or no, the second and third Norins are worse than sideboard cards. I think it's fine to have high density of stuff in the main deck for your core engine, but then you want to switch it to relevant cards afterwards. Okay, my hand has a Bolt for the first Inti, Soul Warden for my engine, Scropwork Mud for some selection. I'll keep it. These 4 lands are 80% of the way to casting a Confusion in the Ranks if I draw one. Good start. I do actually have weirdly high hopes that this match is the one where Confusion works. Because if I can drag them into goo and make it so they can't even play the game, right on top, I'm gonna believe in the vision here. And I just drew Rest in Peace, which will slow it down even more. They milled an Inti. Interesting. Must have something better to do with 2 mana, or they already have an Inti in their hand. Wrenn and 6. Okay. Rest in Peace versus Wrenn and 6. The classic matchup. Sacred Foundry. Rip. So at least slow this down. Wrenn and 6 is a lot worse. Tarmogoyf's a lot worse. Light from Loam doesn't do anything. They have enchantment removal immediately. They got me. And they're just right back online. Okay. Whatever. We'll play through it. Inti. Wrenn can pick off Soul Warden for freezies, so I want to be a little light on that. I'm going to Elegant Parlor here for this election. Mountain. Okay, I can fully commit to Confusion in the Ranks right now. I'm worried about Wrenn and 6 reaching 7, and then they just can pick their poison to kill my Confusion. That would really break my heart. Okay, I'm going to put the Mountain on top and cast a Soul Warden, and I'm going to Bolt Inti. If they spend a turn minusing on Soul Warden, that takes a ton of pressure off of the Wrenn emblem, and then I can focus on confusing their ranks. Uh-oh. Or they could just have this card, and plussing Wrenn also kills Soul Warden. Danger. Okay, Scropwork Mutt, I think, has to discard Soul Warden here. Wish I discarded a land. I'm really committed to trying to confuse the ranks. The correct discard there was pretty clearly Confusion in the Ranks, or a land. No, the correct discard was Mountain. And the only reason I'd keep Mountain is because I want to confuse the ranks. Though I get this Seismic Assault next turns. Keeping lands isn't that bad, and then I can pester the Wrenn. I'm pretty sure Confusion triggers itself. Light from the Loam happened. Okay, they have a Wrenn on 7. Let's find out if this works how I want it to. Bang. Are you confused? I am. Yes, I'll take Seismic Assault, please. And I'll deal 2 to the Wrenn. Okay, we have Confusion of the Ranks in play. I guess they could still kill it in response, because exchanges don't happen unless both things are still there. If they have another Pick Your Poison, they could just knock this off and keep their assault. I know some of the cards in their hand are lands. If I was paying closer attention, I'd know exactly which cards were lands. Oh, come on, stop it! Can't catch a break around here. All right, I'll concede to that. Turns out, your 5-mana spell is really difficult to stick in Modern. Okay, opponent has Boseiju and Pick Your Poison. I'm going to bring Ragavan back in and shave a Confusion. I resolved one, and so I put it on the stack twice. Once it got countered for completely free, and once it got picked off in response to a relevant trigger for a 2-mana effect. We understand Modern is a high-power format, and, there it is. We've seen it in play. I'm going to switch one out for a Ragavan because now I'm on the play, and I still hope to resolve this card, but opponent's got a bunch of cheap answers for it. Okay, no lock pieces, lots of card selection, all things considered. I will keep this. I have the Elegant Parlor, and then multiple Mutts to get through my deck pretty quick. A Rest in Peace or a Suppression Field are the things I'm looking for. I actually don't think I want Lightning Bolt. We know Inti's in the deck, but I'm on the play here. Let's try to leverage it. Inspiring Vantage. Mutt is going to discard Plains. It should discard Confusion, but I'm trying. I'm trying here. You all see me trying. Drew a Vantage. Okay. Ended up mostly the same. They got a Surveil. Okay, land go, I'll take it. Inspiring Vantage, attack with the Mutt. I think I just have to discard Confusion here. Sorry, everybody. There's another one in the deck. But, Solitude, Lightning Bolt, these are real Modern cards. Charming Prince, cool. All right, we're doing stuff. Fetch in the end step. I suspect we'll see another Surveil. Indeed we do. If they just slam Seismic Assault here, we might be dead. Discarding Confusion also makes Tarmogoyf huge. They have triple red and 6 cards in hand. Good chance my whole board dies right now. Brotherhood's End. Well, that's not what I was expecting, but does the same thing. Norin the Wary. Okay. I'm going to unearth a Mutt and discard Norin and see what I draw. Battlefield Forge. Okay. I can unearth the other Mutt and discard Sacred Foundry here. Okay, there's a rip. The card selection worked. I got 5 cards worth of selection this game. That was fun. Tarmogoyf right on time to die to Lightning Bolt. The greatest embarrassment a Tarmogoyf player can enjoy. Rest in peace, and then dash Ragavan. Okay, here it is. If they pick the poison, this is a trade. If they Lightning Bolt, okay, that's just fine. It's just a 1-for-1. Alrighty. Solitude's in my grip. Charming Prince ready to flicker it. Land number 5 is going to be a big one. As far as I know, I've cut off all the engines in their deck right now, which I know they have answers for. Yep, poisoned. But that at least shrunk Tarmogoyf and nuked the graveyard as it stands. Ooh, leaving it back. Afraid of Ragavan dashes. Plains was an insane draw here. Now I could Solitude. 4 mana for the 1 ring. Hate that for me, but there it is. They draw a card. They fetch Tarmogoyf up to 2/3. I could have timed this differently so they only gain 1 life that turn instead of 2. I hope that doesn't matter, but they do have a ring in play. And I have Lightning Bolt in my hand, so burning them out could be my strat. Charming Prince, I think, has to Scry 2 here. As much as I'd love to flicker Solitude and do something with it. Scry 2. Soul's Attendant Clifftop Retreat. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. And all of my loot effects are gone at this point, so I'll play out the Sacred Foundry. Okay, just gotta hope that they get greedy with this ring and end up in bolt range. But that means they have to tap the ring multiple times, draw 7, 11 cards, some insane number. If I get 1 good attack through, I'll feel really good about my spot. Inti's a 2/2. Seismic Assault is difficult to beat. Soul Warden, okay. Probably too late to believe in that, but I'm going to attack. Inti also reads, whenever you discard 1 more cards, you could exile your top card. Yeah, they're doing it right now. That's the combo here, is the Inti also draws a card. Discarded 2 Besejus, flipped 2 cards, killed all my shit. I guess I have to bolt this Inti. I'm not beating it. Soul Warden, go. Oh no. Well, their ring has to bleed them out from the max. Seismic Assault's, or Suppression Field still reasonable to draw. Rest in Peace still reasonable to draw. Life from the Loam picks up 3, that's 6 damage. Picking off my creatures. They don't have to tap the ring anymore, but if they do, they're probably going to draw a lot of lands they could throw at me. They dredged Loam with one of the ring draws, that makes sense. Build over another land, they could fetch this land. Yeah, they're just whipping stuff at me at this point. They have lethal right now. It's probably close. Yep. Discarded a bunch, got him back. Cycle Forgotten Cave. This deck is sweet. Confusion? Oh, no, just dead. Okay, we made a run at that one. We did the Soul Sisters thing, and we did resolve a Confusion in the ranks that would have done something cool if it didn't die immediately. I'll count that as W's for the purpose of the challenge. And we've got the final round coming.
The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is available exclusively through Coalesce Apparel. This Magic player-owned business is a staple of our community. They keep this channel on the air, and it's my pleasure to partner with them for this product. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market. They have awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off your order, only at coalesceapparel.shop.
On the draw for the final round, final chance to win a match here. I'm going to keep this hand that has double Suppression Field. So far, that's been my best route to victory in the victories that I have found. Let's hope it holds up. Shocked in a Steam Vents off a Gigantha deck. Okay, we're some kind of breach stuff. I'm glad I have Lightning Bolt. I'm not glad it costs life to cast it. Solitude's probably a good one. Woof. They got that dog in them. Okay. I'm probably pitching a suppression field to deal with this Swift Spear this turn. If they put like any triggers into this, I will. Okay, they didn't do that. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Uh-oh. The guns are blazing. I really wish I had the life gain half of the deck right now. The deck heard me. Gave me a Johnny's Pride Mate. Cool. Okay. Shotgun Sacred Foundry. Got to do what I got to do here. Play a suppression field. This makes Mishra's Bauble into a horrendous magic card. Fetch lands are a lot worse. Preordain. This is a third card type, and that makes 4. Okay, there's Bauble. It can't be activated without a land. My plan is to Solitude the Swift Spear, then probably concede. Yeah, just so many things here. Milled a Mutagenic Growth, kept their second card. Soul Scar Mage. Okay, there's that one. Solitude, take out the Swift Spear. I guess Swift Spear deals 3, and so does DRC, but DRC deals 3 every turn and provides card selection. That's probably better. Now I need to start gaining life like a psycho. Nope. Untap that. I don't think so. All right. Draw for my turn. Elegant Parlor. Ragavan is... Ooh. I mean, it's not good, but if I dash it next turn, take a bolt from them, kill one of their creatures, that's a way that I might still win this game. Okay. Unfortunately, I've revealed my plan to them in a game that I'm likely to lose anyway. They see a Johnny's Pride Mate, they know I have life gain. Sprite Dragon. Okay, they can attack for 4 here. Oh, they're sending everything. They must have a free spell. Block and die to Mutagenic Growth. Okay, I'm at 3. Just die to combat next turn. That works too. Okay, land. Dash Ragavan, flip Lightning Bolt, kill Dragon's Rage Channeler. That's the plan here. Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, Lightning Bolt. Manamorphose. All right, we're in there. Still playing the game. I'm going to make red-white. Or the way I concede. All right, you did it. All right, that was fast. Dawn Fluke, finally. A time to shine. I think Rest in Peace comes in here because I expect Underworld Breach. Path to Exile is good. Drannith Magistrate is a blocker that also turns off Underworld Breach, and Dampening Sphere is also really good against them. There's a lot of good cards. I think I'm going to go 3 Norins out at least. Might still be 4. There's a lot of cards coming in here. Suppression Field. I don't think that's my solution for this matchup. They do have fetch lands. They do have baubles that matter. But I'm bringing in a bunch of different hate cards. One of the confusions has to go. It should be all the confusions, but I'm still trying to make this work at least once. And I gotta call one more card. I think I'm just on 0 Norin here. Okay, let's do it like this. Okay. Keep. I have a removal spell and a Soul Warden. And I think I'm going to shock in the Soul Warden on turn 1, because they play creatures, I'll gain that life back. This deck might have actual gut shot in it. Opponent went to 5, that helps. Fingers crossed. Can we get the W? Steam Vents. Wow, just lightning bolting that. A lot of respect. Elegant Parlor. I'd like another land. Oh, is Ragavan actually good? Probably not. Yeah, I'm going to bin Ragavan. My hand is just kind of stable if I hit 3 mana, and really stable if I hit 5. And Ragavan doesn't do either of those things. And I do have creatures to play without it. Sacred Foundry. We're a Jeskai over there. They are still a Jeggy deck. I'll get that on the screen so I don't forget. I hope they cast a spell here. Didn't do it. Soul Scar Mage. Okay. I'm going to path one of these. I don't like ramping them, but I also don't like them having all these creatures in play. If I draw the untapped land here, we're stable. Oh, the fluke. What a fluke it is. Okay. Drannith Magistrate, get in there. Sprite Dragon. That resolves. I will block Swift Spear because I have Solitude. It's like the fail case here is still pretty good. Like if they had Mutagenic Growth or something, I could have still beat it. Come on, deck. Yeah. All right, found the land. Skyclave Apparition. I think I actually want to take Dragon's Rage Channeler more than any of these other things. The Sprite Dragon needs a lot of work to grow up, and I'm holding Solitude for when we get there. I just poking with the flyer. They know I'm going to block. Land number 4, shocked it in. Uh-oh. They're just getting Jeggy and representing Soulscar Mage. Okay. Last card in hand's Gigantha. Johnny's Pridemate. Okay. That might someday be good. Sprite Dragon continues its unrelenting assault. Soulscar Mage number 2. Lightning Bolt. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to take out the Sprite Dragon right now while I know they can't do anything to save it. Soul Warden's a busted draw here because I can immediately Resolute Reinforcements and make Pridemate a zillion. Soul Warden. Soul Warden, let's do it. Ragavan. And Ragavan will trade with just whatever here. I'm just going to cast it. I could be making more aggressive attacks with Dawn Fluke, but that's also the card that I want to exile to Solitude if I have to Solitude something. Another DRC. All right, they're 1-drop flooded. The second they draw Manamorphose, my life ends. Another Solitude. Okay, what does that do? And I guess I just send Ragavan in and get one of these creatures off the board. Okay, they're double blocking, and I could Dawn Fluke to save Ragavan. If I had 4 mana, I would, but I'm just going to take a trade. Their creature is better than mine, or at least more threatening than mine. It's funny that they have the Gigantha in their hand, because Drannith Magistrate was printed to stop Companions specifically, but then they errated Companions, and that's not how it works anymore. Okay, land. Now I can cast Dawn Fluke, which still isn't exciting, but we are 1 land away from Solitude if I could hold out here. Oh, that's a good spell. Okay, well, this is the moment we knew would come. They would eventually do something that does something. This also guarantees Delirium because it is a sorcery. Flip the Wooded Foothills. That casts Jeggy next turn. They had to flip Wooded Foothills because anything else they can't cast because of Drannith. Okay, I'm going to cast Dawn Fluke here. I think it's time to do something. Prevent the next 3 damage that would be dealt to... I think a Johnny's Pridemate is my best creature. I'm going to try to protect that. They have Gigantha 2 mystery cards in hand. Okay, there is a damage bubble on Pridemate. And then block. Do I want to try to pile up and beat this thing? Yeah, I think trying to get something off the board is worth doing. Because I have 2 Solitudes in my hand. If I could keep the board low. Okay, just combat damage, deal. That wasn't so bad. I can also Solitude one of my own creatures to gain life and make Pridemate bigger. That is a line that exists. Okay, we're in big Solitude hours now. No attacks here. End step fetch. Another EI. Uh-oh. Let's hope they exile a spell and don't play around Drannith Magistrate. Still exiling lands. They know how this works. Kraken a fetch. Dangerous. Scary. 4 mana, 4 cards in hand. One of them's Gigantha. Unholy Heat targeting my boy. Uh-oh. Am I getting just Breach killed right now? Okay, that's gone. Underworld Breach confirmed. There's no Bauble in there. Okay, I'm going to cast Solitude and exile Soulscar Mage. That's their biggest creature. They can bolt my face, or they could bolt to get some attackers through. And there were multiple turns earlier that I was holding up this Resolute Reinforcements, hoping to draw a Soul Warden, where 2 blockers right now would actually change the game. Maybe that was a mistake. But I think playing to win versus playing to not lose, especially in spots like that early spot, that's a better thing to do. Okay, now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can block the Swift Spear, go to 5. Yeah, I'll stop there. They've already made their land drop. Another Plains. I will, I guess, pass the turn here. Hope the second Solitude gets a blowout. They're back to Gigantha and 1 mystery card plus whatever they're about to draw right now in their hand. Preordain. The juices are flowing. Dipped a Lava Dart. Topped both cards. Horrifying. I could Solitude earlier to stop the Surveil, at least on this chain, but I think if this chain goes anywhere, it just beats me anyway. Yeah, okay. We're super dead. And they hit a Bauble, which makes everything insane. Okay, yeah, I've lost this game, even with the Solitude. The second Breach is just GG. Okay, let's debrief this. I said in the deck tech all that time ago that it's difficult to build a modern deck around a 5-mana enchantment that then requires other stuff to happen for it to pay out. And that did turn out to be true. I made a real run at it. I built a deck that makes sense in terms of doing it. Maybe what I actually needed to do was lean harder on the prison stuff. Maybe this should have been just like Suppression Field, Recipes, Blood Moon, all in the main with Confusion in the ranks at the top. And then just like Norin the Wary and some things with multiple card types like Scrapwork Mutt later on the curve to then steal everything once the board was locked. I tried to dovetail Norin, which works so good with the Soul Sisters, into working good with Confusion in the ranks, but maybe it doesn't make sense to hop out a Soul Sisters deck with Confusion. And maybe it doesn't make sense to include Soul Sisters in a deck that is trying to confuse. Like everything in this deck that I added to make Confusion in the ranks make sense, including the Confusion itself. I only have 3 Pride Mates, only have 6 Soul Wardens. These are the cards that make that half of the deck hum. If this was just Purphoros, God of the Forge instead, and we could skip the Suppression Field because that doesn't matter anymore, and fill out our 4 ofs, like play some Genesis Chambers, which is a card that I couldn't play because Confusion just lets them steal it immediately and like gives them a bunch of creatures to steal your creatures. That's one of the more powerful engines in a traditional Boros Soul Sisters deck, and you just can't play it because of Confusion. Maybe with some more tuning, we could find a balance here, but I believe this is a Thomas Edison Award of something that didn't work, an idea that didn't work. Red Mage, thank you for the challenge. I hope this got some creative juices flowing and at least eliminated a path that we don't need to go down again. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.